Sarah, just to let you know, we only have 20 minutes for this video. I've got banana bread in the oven.
Oh no, 22 minutes. Okay, noted. That is 100% noted.
Yeah, it smells delicious in here.
I love banana bread. Who likes banana bread? How's it going, everyone? Sara here. Once again with. We have not done a Beth and Viv video in a week or two, so it's time.
No, it seems like it's been too long, actually.
I like you that you said that. Not that anyone requested this one, but I mean, some major things.
I requested it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
This was actually going to be a Sam and Kristie video.
It was recently Sam's birthday.
Exactly.
But yeah.
We were going to talk about Sam's birthday, and I was saving this for the Sam Kristie video, but the Viv Beth thing reminds me so much of the Sam Kristie thing, just the big major tournament, and then the relationship coming to light after that. So it does actually remind me a lot of Viv and Beth. But what we're going to do today, there is an interview that we're going to talk about. And this interview was like
very open.
Very open. Beth is the queen of answering questions, honestly. Not just honest, but the queen of answering questions with kind of like the idea of, I'm going to say this, I'm not going to hold back. Okay, so there's an interview that she actually did, and I don't know the full interview either. I've just seen this clip on Twitter, and we're going to react to this clip because, I mean, what she's talking about, I mean, I love when we get these insights from these relationships. It's kind of like, I just love hearing about it. A, because it's very relatable, but B, because these are some of our favorite celebrities.
Right.
So in this interview, he asked, why has the LGBTQ plus community been so important to Beth in particular? You know, A, because she's been very public with this relationship. And also, she was, at the end of her and Dan's relationship, was public, not like they are now with Beth and Viv, but why is it personally important to her? I'm not quite sure what we're going to play, if we're going to play it, or maybe we'll just use the audio if there's like a copyright thing. But, you know, she talks about why the LGBT plus community is important because growing up, I've read this. She was actually from a very conservative part of England. So and she was probably 15. That's kind of the age, like 12, 13, 14 years ago. Maybe even more, maybe even like 15 years ago. And she said there wasn't a lot of people open and out and just living their lives when she was younger. So for her, it was a struggle. You know what I mean? It was a struggle just to see what she felt and to be able to be honest with herself with how she felt. Being from the conservative area she probably wasn't able to just express herself, even kind of have those ideas out in the open because she was from a conservative place.
Right. Like, it's so relatable.
And kind of saying, I just want to be who I am. Then she also said her parents struggled at first, which I think that is very relatable. A lot of parents struggle with not thinking.
Yeah, most, I would say.
Yeah, especially back then, 15 years ago. With that's not being the norm. You don't want, that, why can't my kid just be the normal kid? You know what I mean? Back then.
Sorry, why can't my parents just be normal, right?
Now it's changing for the better. But then she said something interesting. She goes, she had never even officially said she was gay on social media. That those words never really came out. Like, I'm lesbian, I'm gay in the last few years. She kind of posted pictures, but then she referenced that she has recently been posting pictures with her partner. Like I said, we might have showed the clip. If we didn't show the clip, we're just explaining it. But she said, my partner, I'm more extroverted. My partner's more introverted. Yeah. And also for her to say my partner, I love those. It's my partner. You know what I mean? Then this is part where we got a little excited. Ears perked up a little bit. So the interviewer asked her, he goes, who asked who out? Who asked who out first, basically. And side note, I think he got a lot of flack for asking that question. But she answered, and she could have said, I don't feel comfortable. Maybe she felt she was put on the spot, but I feel like Beth wouldn't have answered it.
Or they could have cut that out.
That's what that was the other thing I was thinking. Either Beth could have said, I'm not comfortable answering that, or she could have said, hey, can you cut that and out of the interview? And I think in this day and age, the person doing the interview would have. So she seemed okay to answer it.
I thought Amelia would be asking those questions.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So that is kind of a side question that wasn't even appropriate for him to ask, but she was talking about it. She asked who asked who out first, and then she was saying that Viv was making the first moves on this relationship.
Who asked who out?
To be fair, it's funny, she kind of took the first steps in everything, so I was like, I might need to make her feel like she was wanted, so I asked her, to be fair. She went for it, the love you first, all that, so I was just like, yeah, best make her feel like she's wanted. To me, I've tried to make it the normal.
Viv was the first person to say, I love you.
Ooh, that like makes sense to me, but also like what?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. So she said that Viv kind of was the person to make the first steps in the relationship, saying the I love yous, but then she says she was the official one to ask. And I don't know if she meant out as make it officially a relationship or maybe just out. She seemed like Beth was the one who officially asked her, hey, is this official? Are we a thing? So, I mean, it was a little bit of both, really, And I mean, that was major. That was major for her to kind of give that insight into Viv was the one who was kind of the pursuer, was kind of, I thought that was pretty interesting and kind of telling and kind of, there's a lot of things that in your head kind of go along with that.
Yeah, I wonder what their first date was.
Yeah.
Next question, what was your first date?
Yeah, exactly. But Beth is the one who made it official. And then the rest of the interview, she just said about making it like it's a normal, natural, not even being, in 10 years, there's a good possibility none of these questions will be asked about being lesbian. The interest will still be in who each other's partners are, though. That will always be interesting to me, to everyone, I think, because
yeah, of course,
it's just like friends you have. You have friends that you want to know who they're dating, who they're not, even though, you want to know who celebrities are dating. I think as humans, we will always be interested. Oh, who's dating who? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that was major. But, it kind of brought me to this next part. And this next part, we talk about this relationship, Beth and Viv, how it's new, how it's exciting, how no one saw it coming before it did, how a lot of people don't even see them together, like, it's just blowing their mind that they're together for many reasons. But the thing a lot of people actually commented on our last Beth and Viv video is that, the idea that Viv and Lisa broke up is still kind of shocking to them, because Viv and Lisa were together for so long, and it's shocking and, sad to see a relationship that people were really invested in that just isn't there anymore. And it's a grieving process, and a lot of fans are grieving the loss of a relationship that we were really invested in as fans. I see a lot of comments saying they miss Lisa, they're happy for Beth and Viv, but they do miss Lisa. And I don't think it's wrong to think that. I don't think that's wrong to kind of put those emotions on the side. I don't think it would be appropriate to go to Beth or Viv comment section in their Instagram and say, I miss Lisa. I don't think that will be helpful but the idea that we got to know Viv and Lisa as a couple for so long, and people are now grieving that they're no longer together. Not just that, they probably broke up 6-7 months ago. We didn't know about it until the last month and a half. Mm-hmm. So they've had over 6 months, 7 months to process it, probably around 8-9 months to process it, what's going on. Fans are just finding out in the last month. So it's still kind of a process of, we get it, we're happy for Beth and Viv, but the idea that we knew Viv and Lisa for so long is hard, and it's hard for fans.
Yeah, but I mean, that's life, life's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
things happen, things don't work out, things
sometimes
work out.
It's very, and I talked about this, and I think in all other 3 videos we talked about this situation, that it's very relatable having someone that even though we've talked about these are celebrities, but you do kind of feel like these people as couples, you know what I mean? You feel like even though they are celebrities, but you feel like them as like, oh, they're Viv and Lisa, they're together. And just like if I were to have 2 friends broken up with each other, it's that whole idea of seeing them with new people is at first hard, and it's different, and and it's the idea of people will get quote unquote over it, but it's still a grieving process for the relationship that they did have.
I mean, every YouTube lesbian
who's
ever, I mean,
there's
the list is so long of the couples that have broken up and then gotten with other people.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Like that. It is like that. Like, you get invested in their relationships. These YouTubers a lot of times were together, then they're apart, and it's fans. It's like shocking. But to see, we've talked about this again in the lesbian world, the way, friends dating friends who exes, that's actually not uncommon. I don't think for people to be sad about the end of Viv and Lisa, as long as, I don't think that's unnatural. I think it's actually a very natural thing.
I'm just happy about this new relationship.
And I think a lot of people are in that direction where, as much as they're sad about Viv, it's going to take time for a lot of people to be more excited. But also, a lot of people were, same with kind of even Beth and Dan, you know, we saw them as a couple, but I think people were really invested in Viv and Lisa. I've actually had people in our comment section say Viv and Lisa are the couple that really made them feel okay with their sexuality. You know, they just saw them living their life. The thing was, they weren't ashamed of nothing. They were excited. So
that is heartbreaking. But I mean, this brings me back to Jessie J. When Jessie J, you know, came out or whatever, and I listened to her album, she helped me come out.
Yeah. She said, oh, it was a phase.
Oh, it was a phase.
Yeah, that was hard.
Still not over it.
So you can kind of relate that, you know.
Kind of similar, yeah.
Yeah, when you have two people. So I think a lot of people, it's going to take time for people to really get on the Beth and Viv train, or they never will, because Viv and Lisa were, you know, so integral into their, you know, feeling good. But, you know, but it happens. And just like friends, you have friends or relatives that get with other partners. So I see a lot of people comment, and I get that. You know, I remember Viv and Lisa were my number one couple 2 years ago on my list of couples of the year. So I get it, you know. But, you know, I did want to mention that because I do see a lot of comments in our comment section and around the web that say they miss Viv and Lisa. And that's normal to feel that way. You know, it's not abnormal to feel that way.
It's like we're all children of divorced parents.
Yeah, exactly. Some people feel that way. You know, I've kind of grieved the Viv and Lisa, but I'm on the Beth and Viv train, you know.
I'm the conductor.
I love it.
What did that even mean?
But yeah, I'm super excited for Beth and Viv. A lot of people have commented around the web, they've never seen Viv looking happier. You know what I mean? She looks really happy. She's just looking really happy. And it's awesome to see everyone look happy.
It's always nice to see someone at the beginning of a relationship because it's so fresh, new, and exciting.
Yeah. The honeymoon phase is always like, the honeymoon phase. Yeah. That lust phase.
Oh. Whoa.
What does everyone think? Did you see this interview? And what did you think? And I mean, we got some goods. We got the deets. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night.
Bye.